Hey YouTube family and GN subs, how are you? Hope you're doing well. I'm here in sunny Southern California. It's a beautiful day and we got some good immigration stuff to talk about today. There is a Supreme Court case that's going to have a substantial effect on all of immigration. You really want to listen up on this and follow this case as it's going through. And those of you who are new to the channel, I am Humberto R, attorney at law specializing in immigration matters in the business and entertainment space. And it's a pleasure to be able to do this YouTube channel. I love it. And if you go to our library, you're going to find a playlist that is golden. It's good stuff. You can learn a lot about immigration law. And hey, we got a lot to unpack today, so let's get at it. All right, there's a Supreme Court case now. You've probably heard about it. It's happening. It's called Biden versus Texas. This case is really important. You've probably heard about Title 42. So this is the policy down at the border that the Trump administration enacted, where individuals from Central America and Mexico have to stay in Mexico while their asylum claim is being adjudicated. So the Biden administration comes in and reverses that policy and says, no, let's get rid of Title 42. There's an uproar. What happens is Texas, the state of Texas, in federal court sues to put an injunction on the lifting of Title 42. And that injunction then puts a halt on the whole United States in terms of any border, including California, that they can't lift Title 42. That's what's in front of the Supreme Court right now. You may think it's about Title 42. This is much more, folks, okay? What this is about is generally Congress has plenary power over immigration. The executive branch, the president, has power over national security and foreign policy, okay? It's called plenary power. It's full power, right? So what we have here, the courts, the third branch of government that's coming in, and it's in effect issuing its own policy. The courts generally don't have that sort of power. That's left to Congress and it's left to the executive. So this is what's happening at play in this particular case. Much larger, right? So what happens is in immigration, you have regulations, you have laws, right? Then you have the executive branch, the president, that dictates the policy, right? That's what's happening both with Trump and with Biden, right? The executive branch is dictating that policy with regard to Title 42. You know, what happens to these individuals? So the Supreme Court is going to have to make a ruling to see what's going to happen in the future here, because this is really important. This conflict that has happened time and time again, and it's going to happen in the future. It's going to happen with regard to immigration, right? You're going to have policy with work permits, with unauthorized individuals, how they actually get their green cards. There's a lot of policy at play here. Usually it's left for the executive branch and the congressional branch. So let's see what happens. We're going to keep following this case, folks. This is a really important case. All right, another bit of good news. Prosecutorial discretion, what's happening in immigration court. I don't do many immigration court cases in front of the judges, but the ones that I do, really important cases. So we still have WebEx. That's where I make a phone call into the court. My client's presence is waived in front of the judge. There's a trial attorney there. There's the judge there, and we're talking by phone. And it's like in open court, right? So what I do is I dial in, I announce my name, and we're there in court, and you can hear all of the other cases, what's happening. There's a new policy. I put a link in the description box here so you can check it out. I've never in my 35 years of practice have seen so many cases dismissed. If you have a case in immigration court and you want it dismissed, that means it's terminated. That means goodbye. That means it's gone. Now is the time. If you have a case, where there's a prior ruling, let's say it's administratively closed, you want to open that case, you can get it terminated. I promise, guys, it was surreal. I had so many cases. I heard every single case. The judge said, government attorney, what do you want to do? And the government attorney says, we'd like to dismiss this case. Over and over again. And I'm telling you, now's the time. If you have a case in court, you want to get it dismissed, now is the time. All right, Department of State update with regard to Ukraine. Again, I put a little link in the description box here. You can check it out. So if you have a family member that is still in Ukraine, or if you have a family member that made it out to Hungary, Poland, Romania, one of the bordering countries there in Eastern Europe, you can have your family member go to the consulate and get a visa to enter into the United States. You have to show that you're going to support them financially through an affidavit of support. This is great news, folks. So you can get family members here in the U.S. in this time of war. Again, it's in the link in the description box. You can check it out. A lot of good stuff. Finally, some more good policy on E, H, and L visas, okay? What they are going to do, and I talked about this before, I told you this might happen, is that for derivative spouses, generally, you need to file an I-765 and wait for the work authorization to come. As you know, today, work authorizations are taking forever, right? So, we talked about last week as well, there's going to be premium processing for I-765s, but you may be able to avoid this on these non-immigrant visas now. Why? Because derivative spouses automatically on the I-94 is going to have a designation of an S, okay, quote. There's going to be an S on that I-94. What does that mean? That means that you are eligible to work legally and lawfully in the United States without filing for an I-765, without filing for that derivative work permit. Your status in general is going to allow you to work. I think we're going to see much more of this in the future as well, where your status in general is going to give you the ability to work without filing for I-765. I mean, who knows? I know the government wants the money, so we'll see what happens. Hey, YouTube family and GN subs, thanks so much for watching GrayLaw TV. 4.5 million views, 60,000 subs. Thank you guys so much. You're awesome. Let's keep it going. Please click below, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.